Welcome to the Explainer. When it comes to real estate, your biggest assets or your biggest liability isn't actually the property. Nope, it's the mindset you bring to the table. So today, we're going to break down the 5 main investor archetypes, and I promise you're going to find yourself in one of them.
Yeah, we're about to meet 5 really distinct investor types. And trust me, by the end of this, you are absolutely going to see yourself in one of them. But more importantly, you'll know exactly what you need to do to level up your own investment game. So, you ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first, let's just talk about the stakes. Because real estate, it's not just another asset class, right? For most of us, for the vast majority of people, it is the single biggest financial decision we will ever make in our entire lives. Look at this. Even for the wealthiest people on the planet, real estate is the biggest ticket item. So think about that. If the stakes are that high for them, imagine how crucial it is for the rest of us to get it right. Understanding your own psychology, your own mindset, that's step one. It's how you avoid those really costly mistakes. All right, let's get into it. We're going to meet our first 2 investor types. Now, they both share one big thing in common. They're totally stuck on the sidelines. But, and this is the interesting part, the reasons why they're frozen are completely different. So, first up, we have the scared investor. And this person, they're just completely defined by fear. A lot of the time, it comes from seeing bad property deals go down in their own family. They've seen the pain, and they are absolutely convinced it's going to happen to them too. And what's so fascinating here is the psychological trap they're in. It's like this self-fulfilling prophecy. They're actively looking for bad news to confirm what they already believe, that the market's a scam, that all builders are crooks. And when they find it, it just reinforces their decision to stay out. It's this vicious cycle, and honestly, trying to convince them otherwise, it'll just drain all your energy. All that pessimism actually makes them a surprisingly useful market indicator. Think of them as a canary in the coal mine, but in reverse. When you see even the most scared, the most skeptical people finally start buying, well, that should set off alarm bells. It is often a huge sign that the market is getting overheated and a top might be near. And this right here, the larger fool theory, this is the game that the scared investor just refuses to play. And you can't really blame them, right? The idea is that the party only keeps going as long as there's always someone else, a larger fool, willing to pay an even higher price. But eventually, you run out of fools. And when that happens, the music stops, and it stops fast. Okay, let's shift gears to our second type, the unsure investor. Now, they're also stuck on the sidelines, just like the scared investor. But their problem isn't fear of losing money. Oh no, their paralysis comes from a totally different place. The fear of not finding the absolute 100% perfect deal. These are the people who are just stuck in a permanent state of what if. They're constantly waiting for the next project launch, a slightly better payment plan, for all the stars to perfectly align. They suffer from classic analysis paralysis. The end result? They spend years just looking and comparing, and they never, ever actually pull the trigger. And look, the big takeaway for this type is so important. It is way more important that you start than what you start with perfectly. You've just got to get in the game. The clock on your potential returns doesn't start ticking until you make a move. A pretty good deal that you actually do is infinitely better than some perfect deal that just lives in your head.
Okay, so we've covered inaction. But now we're moving into something that can be even more dangerous, misguided action. Our next archetype isn't frozen, they're moving, but they're operating with a complete and total disconnect from reality. So let's meet archetype number 3, the delusional investor. This person is basically a time traveler, seriously. They've shown up to the 2024 market with a budget from 2010. Their entire idea of what a fair price is anchored in a past that is long gone.
And this is just a perfect example of that massive disconnect. Maybe they're an NRI who hasn't been back in years, or just someone who's been out of the loop. And here's the kicker. When you show them the actual current market prices, they don't adjust their budget. Nope. They get offended, they get angry, they start claiming the whole market is rigged. It's a classic case of sour grapes. All right, now we arrive at what our source material calls the single most dangerous archetype of all. And it's not dangerous because they're afraid to invest, it's dangerous because they invest way too much. This is the over-invested investor. And see, this person isn't a total beginner. In fact, they've done some homework. They've probably taken a few courses, read a few books, And armed with that little bit of knowledge, which is a dangerous thing, they have gone all in. They've stretched their finances to the absolute limit across multiple properties and payment plans. The source material actually uses a really powerful Hindi word to describe the situation, ati. It just means excess. And it's the perfect word, isn't it? It describes someone who has taken a good idea, investing, and pushed it way, way too far. There's this amazing phrase that captures it perfectly. Aankh tak invested. It means invested up to the eyes. And it paints such a clear picture, right? They are literally financially underwater. They've borrowed from family, from in-laws, maybe even sold jewelry. They're running on that mantra, risk hai to ishq hai. If there's risk, there's love. But that love affair with risk can turn fatal fast. If the market turns and they can't sell, they are in a world of trouble.
Okay, so we've walked through the minefield. We've seen the pitfalls of fear, indecision, delusion, and pure excess. So what's left? What's the goal? What should we all be striving to become? Well, let's meet our final aspirational archetype.
This is it. This is the goal, the sophisticated investor. This person just moves differently. There's a quiet confidence about them. They're calm, they're analytical, and they operate from a place of deep clarity and conviction, not from hype or fear. So, the big question is, how do you get there? Well, it all comes down to these 4 key steps. And I want you to notice something really important. Not a single one of them is about how much money you have. This is purely about mindset. A sophisticated investor could be a high-flying CEO, sure, but they could also be a bank manager or a school teacher who just understands their finances inside and out and has a rock-solid plan. And there you have it, the 5 investor archetypes. You know, just recognizing where you are right now on this spectrum, that's the crucial first step. The journey from being a scared or unsure bystander to becoming a truly sophisticated investor, it's a conscious choice. It's about swapping fear for knowledge and trading confusion for conviction. So the only question left is, which one will you become?